I want to speak to that point to conviction, because I think it's a scary place as a Christian when you have none of that, right? Where you feel like you're just I mean, and I'm speaking to more so the Christians who know who Jesus is, or for the people who just like on the edge of like, okay, God's telling them something, but because of their personal, wantings and desires, whatever's conviction to them isn't really conviction. It's just like a recommendation, right?
Hey,
I'm like, that's a scary place to be, because I've been in several situations where I'm like, I see why people end up receiving the consequences they do, right? And I'm just going to throw a couple of examples out there. Maybe you're, sleeping around before marriage, or you are, doing drugs, or and there's many points I'll listen to people and they'll be like, yeah, at this point I knew I should have stopped doing this, but I just enjoyed it so much. So to where conviction is just, again, it's a recommendation. And I'm like, I feel that. And to the point where I'm like, I look back and I tell you the experience I've had, like, if it weren't for the Holy Spirit, there's so many things I would have done, so many situations I would have been in, unfortunately, and been like, I caused that, and I have to live with it. But because every time I would get in those circumstances, I would always like feel like first of all, for me, I'm going to tell you how the Holy Spirit works for me. When I'm in a situation I know I'm not supposed to be in, or I feel like it's something that's going to compromise my walk with Jesus, I'll it's kind of embarrassing. I feel like I'll sweat, like I'll start heating up. My body's like, like that like the Spidey sense, sixth sense is tingling, it's like something isn't right. You probably should move. Like, like something's just telling me like, I probably shouldn't do this. And, oftentimes I had a conversation with my buddy yesterday. He's like, I don't know if this is like a good thing though. Like having this feeling, I'm like, bro, if you didn't, the things you would do,
right.
I think like it's a good place to be always when I hear someone say, I went into this situation. There was a point where I thought about, is this really beneficial for me? And ultimately as a Christian, my walk with Jesus, am I compromising anything? And then I'll make my decision. The decision might not be bad. There's situations, for example, there's not every good decision is a God decision, but sometimes God doesn't give you the clear answer to where you want to go. But you're sensitively like aspiring to see what does the Holy Spirit want me to go. So I make sure I'm choosing the God thing and not just the good thing, right? And so just gaining that sensitivity in your walk, I think, is so important. Yeah. And if you don't have it, it's a scary place to be.
It
is a terrifying place to be.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and do me a solid. Subscribe. Join the Faithful Breed family. We'd love to have you. If you have any comments, ideas, drop them down below. Until next time, ciao.